Right, I'm back again. I'm going to be doing the second Conquest Agarta film today. So this is the one that's a bit more like Star Wars. So it's like a Galactic war type of thing. So if you've clicked on this video, make sure you watch this one first. The Lord Archon, because that's part one. What am I doing now? Yeah, right, so Lord Archon's the first one. I did that a couple of days ago. I'm going to be going through this one today. Similar thing. I'm more just trying to experience the story, but if I see anything that I can tweak on the way, I will. I'd say I do think part one is better written than this one. In a more sort of traditional way, if that makes sense. There are a lot of good moments in this, and I'll show you the droid later on. That droid is so good, but I don't know if I'm copying HK-47 a bit too much. But yeah, and then Serving the Will of the Demiurge is the third one. I'll do that. I'll probably do that this weekend. I will be periodically checking GameStop because it is doing something silly today. I think we're buying eBay apparently. So I will be periodically clicking that. Trying to think. Yeah, so I'm awaiting feedback on the trilogy, as I've mentioned a couple of times. So this isn't going to be perfect by any means, like far from it. But hopefully it's in a reasonable position. It was much harder reworking this one compared to the first one. I'll just get cracking on. Right, so Planet Protector satellites vaporized debris from the recent battle. So that's obviously the climax of the last one. This is probably set a few days later. So large Draco spacecraft vacuum and shepherd debris away from Agarta. Right, so we're in Kiana now, so that's one of the other kingdoms on Agarta. Right, so Regina. She looks mid-20s, so this chick is like 2,000 years old. That's why I don't have, because normally I'd do the in brackets and then age, something like that. But that's not true. I don't want to do like Regina and then 2000. So I just put she looks mid-20s and is of Asian heritage. A coalition pilot and spy. So she's hiding in some trees that are near this castle, peeking at the Lord Archon spacecraft as it lands outside. So Kincaid is the king outside his castle. And again, so I've capitalised the introduction, but I'm not doing like a description, because if you're reading part 2, you've read part 1. So Varden emerges from the craft in Draconite armour. Yeah, so the Lord Archon's kitted him up now. The Lord Archon follows. So Regina equips a rifle. The Lord Archon looks at the castle when a bullet deflects off his helmet. I use that a lot, face drops. Regina's face drops. She runs away. The Lord Archon clocks Regina. That's more of the way I speak that. Maybe I could do a more... The Lord Archon sees Regina. He speaks into a comlink. Watch the trees behind me. So he's probably chatting to Chariot there. Varden looks up at the Lord Archon. Shower. They approach Kincaid's castle, but the Lord Archon scans the tree line for Regina. Kiana Archer's half drawn the castle wall. A Kiana Archer shoots an arrow just in front of the Lord Archon's foot as a warning. The Lord Archon glares at this archer. I might just specify. It's implied, but... maybe... I might capitalise him. I'm a bit unsure. Because I don't want to be... I don't like constant capitalisation. I'll make this guy a bit young. This Kiana Archer. Right, Arthur thought he peeks through the latch on the gate. He can only see the Lord Archon's chest. The Lord Archon leans down. Open the gate. Arthur steps back and struggles to speak. I'll do the ... See, with this, it says you're 3 men to 100. So, my reasoning, I don't know if I can maybe... Maybe he puts 2 men to 100. Because does he know that Viden's there? I don't think he can see Viden. Because in my head, he opens the latch, but the Lord Archon stood there, but he's obviously taller than it. Open the gate. And steps back, you're 2 men to 100. So basically, it's just, you know, because the Lord Archon's twice the size of a person, pretty much. Open it. Arthur turns. Reinforce the gate. 50 Kiana soldiers ready their weapons. The Lord Archon's excited Draconite blade pierces the gate and Arthur's back and out his gut. The Lord Archon draws up. Arthur's body splits. Oh, that is such a visual. That is nasty, that, in my head. A young Kiana soldier, if I'll specify. Squeals and runs away. Stand your ground. That's the captain. The Lord Archon cuts through the gate. The Kiana soldiers can only watch. The Lord Archon kicks the gate in. The Kiana soldiers engage the Lord Archon and Viden. See, I kind of want this to mirror what happens at the end. The Lord Archon and Viden fight back to back, cutting through the Kiana ranks. Some of the Kiana soldiers flee. Fight for your king. The Lord Archon marches for the Kiana captain, ignoring anyone who tries to attack him. The Kiana captain runs away, ignoring his own command in the face of such a foe. The Kiana soldier stabs the Lord Archon. He pushes with all his might, but cannot penetrate the Draconite armour. He looks up, hyperventilating. The Lord Archon allows the Kiana soldier to run away. Yeah, I like that, because Viden's kind of rubbing off on him in a way. Because that's something Viden would do. So just, again, so with this is just something I do. I don't know if it's classified as wrong, but I don't want to do constant scene headings if we're literally just moments later in the same place. The Lord Archon and Viden make way to the keep. Many Kiana soldiers flee their presence, but some attack. Archers let loose on them, but all deflect off Draconite armour. I feel like I could probably better write all this. I don't know if it's a bit... I don't know. Right, so we're inside the keep now. Is the keep the right word? King Kincaid rules the kingdom of Kiana, father of Prince Jolin who died in Avalon. Yeah, so these guys defeated the Avalon. I was saying in the last video, I was saying 10 years ago, wasn't I? I think it's 15 now. It was originally 10 years. But I think I changed it because I've made Viden a bit older. So if Viden got abducted at 10 and he's 25 now, then that's 15 years ago. I suppose it gives them an extra 5 years as well to rebuild the forces. So Royal Commander Nonsense Name enters. The gods of Naprador have come. They've breached the gate. The nobleman looked to the King Kincaid. Oh, that's gonna... I'm not gonna be able to say that, am I? Kincaid drinks the last of his wine and looks inside the empty cup. So he's kind of acting a bit nonchalant. He's like, Your Grace. So this guy actually has an injury. Kincaid grabs his cane and limps toward the door. Kincaid exits the keep and looks over the balcony at the Lord Archon and Viden below. Stand down. The Lord Archon drops a Kiana soldier, so he obviously was gripping him. Come, let us acquaint. I'm gonna... The Lord Archon and Viden enter. King Kincaid awaits them alone. The whispers do not lie. You are truly a sight to behold. Sit, drink, eat. So he's just eating berries. Gods do not do as such. So the Lord Archon goes to sit, but it's clear the chair won't support his frame. It's clear the chair won't support his frame. He remains standing. My craftsmen don't cater for gods, it seems. Viden sits and takes off his helmet. He drinks. Kincaid holds his gaze on Viden. You're no older than my son. They say a god slayed him with a blade to his back. I slayed the one who killed him. He's on about Dragfar. Is that so? Indeed he did. So am I blessed by the presence of gods? Kincaid looks at the Lord Archon and then specifies God, because obviously Viden's just a boy in his head. I am uniting Agarta. You can remain as monarch, but Kiana shall become a client kingdom of Naprador should you accept. Kincaid drinks as he thinks. If I don't, we needn't ponder that. Kincaid utters a painful wince. Yeah, because he knows. An emissary will come in due course. Lord Archon goes to leave. We'll send you one of our healers. So that's Viden. The Lord Archon stops, uttering discontent. I might slightly reword. The Lord Archon stops and utters his discontent. So you are graceful, God. He can be. The Lord Archon leaves. Viden follows but stops. I couldn't stop the slaughter at Avalon, but justice was served. I need you to know. Not served soon enough. I don't know if I can improve that introduction, you know. I don't know if it feels a bit... I suppose it's a bit of action, isn't it? Right, yeah, so they're still in the castle, but it's like an outdoor bit of the castle. It's that... It's kind of like a castle, but... What am I thinking of now? Because I'm trying to think. In my head, it's like there's grounds within the castle. So it's like he's outdoors, but he's still within the castle. Let's have a look. I suppose maybe, yeah. Hopefully people understand. It's like the castle grounds. So the Lord Archon watches Regina's fighter rise from the forestry and fly towards space. Right, here we go. So we're at Earth now. So in this time, well, in this story, it's like in our time. I think it's the year 19,000 and something, if I remember rightly. It's far in the future. A protective satellite veil orbits Earth. Coalition fleets patrol the system, guarding the planet. Regina's fighter arrives from a quantum jump and enters Earth's defense network. So we're in a coalition base, in a landing bay. So this is Regina's dad now. Arbiter Liu looks late 40s, early 50s, veteran of the old war. Earth's defense leader. Regina exits her fighter. She comes forth and hugs Arbiter Liu. Father, I saw the Draco. So his face says all words cannot. Because they had an inkling it was the Draco from some of the survivors, but he kind of sent his daughter in to double check. So we're back to Agarta's space system now. Solar system. The Lord Archon's spacecraft flies toward the Draco Mothership Boo. Inside the craft, Chari appears as a hologram. The Coalition spy escape, my lord. Prepare for another attack. So we're going to get another space battle in a minute. Tej is a Draco of the Labourer class. They are about 6.5 feet tall, well built compared to a human, but a lightweight to the warrior class. He awaits the Lord Archon. This guy's kind of like the main scientist or something. The Lord Archon spacecraft arrives. Lord Archon and Viden approach Tej. My lord, the Project Aurora is ready for you, servant. I have completed the requirements for the droid as promised. The unit is operational. So, yeah. Research unit. The assassination droid V196 is in restraints. It stands several feet. Human-like proportions. So I've made it where the voice is like more female. Draconite plated armor, that's important. So they kitted the droid up as well. Yeah, so this droid, if you know HK-47, how can I explain? It says like a word. So in this case it's warning. It could be statement, commentary, greeting, answer. It says a word and then does whatever it's going to say. So HK-47 does that in the Old Republic. It's my favourite character of this movie, this droid. It's really good. Warning, if you do not release me from these chains, I will have to release your head from your body. Draco Labourer configures the computer terminal, not yet. Lord Arkan arrives with Iden. Right, so the Lord Arkan is technically the old master of this droid, but he gave this droid to the Asper character. And now he's going to give it to Viden. Greeting, old master. I would say it is pleasant to see you, but that would be a bold-faced lie. Yeah, it doesn't lie, this robot. What happened to Asper? Answer, the master picked a fight he couldn't win. Against my better judgment, it's a shame really, the master and I had a generational run. You have a new master now. Greeting, V196 at your service, new master. Release it. The Draco Labourer looks at the Lord Archon, then V196. Reassurance, you need not fret, beast. Your death will be swift and merciful. Release it. So they released the droid. Musing. I'm trying to think what that actually means. I think it works for what I'm getting at. Contemplation. What to do with little old you. Yeah, it hates the Draco, this droid. Draco Labourer looks at the Lord Archon, begging with his eyes. Viden actually grabs the hilt of his blade. Because, to be fair, he's actually going to back this labourer up. Stand down. Please, old master, I beg you, allow me to kill this one. Oh, the anguish I could inflict upon it. No. V will be your companion, henceforth it is your bodyguard, advisor and friend. Use it. Interjection, friend is a powerful term, master of the new master. I would prefer the term tertiary acquaintance. My toleration for fleshstruck is historically worse thin. Right. So, HK-47 used to call organic life forms meatbags. And I kind of wanted a similar thing. So this one just calls people flesh jockeys. So the Lord Archon leads Viden and V196. V196 glares at a passing Draco warrior. Don't capitalise it. Observation, I must say your species is most egregious to my eyes, old master. You've said many times. Retort, not enough. Suggestion, perhaps I could kill something for the new, albeit puny master. And you see, the Lord Archon's a bit pissed off. You'll get your fill in time. So Viden's obviously checking the droid out, because he doesn't know what droids are. Commentary, we're going to have so much fun, master. The anticipation is overcoming. Correction, I am not programmed for fun, master, but killing flesh jockeys gives me a sense of what I can only describe as euphoria. I'm really struggling to read the dialogue, I don't know why. I don't think so. It is midnight, I'm a little bit tired, even though my sleep pattern's a mess. I feel like I'm being too monotone. Viden scurries next to the Lord Archon. What exactly is this thing? A droid. It's an artificial machine, no different than any other tool. It's not alive. Interjection, not biologically, but in my behaviour module. So Viden's a bit... In fact, that's the is word thing. Right, yeah, so this is this V196 bemuses Viden rather than doing it is and then word. Shit, bay the Lord Archon leads Viden and V196 toward the Aurora. So this is a spacecraft that is made for Viden. Purple triangle spacecraft. Oh, I can't even speak. It's a touch smaller than a Draco fighter, this spacecraft. You're gonna need your own ship for the fight to come. So Viden's like, whoa. Statement, I am ready, master, I am so ready, I need not warm up, just throw me into the action. Right, I'm just gonna have a drink. I'm just gonna have a quick glance at GameStop. I feel like I'm being more monotone than normal. And I don't know why. I know this is definitely a bit slower than part one. I did start off with a bit of action. But we do get a big space fight in a minute. Because I do have to set it up a bit more. There is a lot, now that I think about it, there is a lot of conflict in this. Like large scale. Right, so we're back on Earth now. So the coalition leadership are having a meeting. And most are there via hologram. Because there's loads of aliens and that in this. Right, so Albert Ilya, we have confirmed that the recent attack on one of my response fleets was enacted by the Draco. So silence. Right, so this chick is from Lyra. Well, Vega's the planet, but Lyra's the system. Again, this is probably, let me have, you know what there probably is? Like this whole UFO... like the New Age UFO, there's just loads of aliens, isn't there? Well, I don't know. I don't even know, it looks a bit funny that. Alien something. Well, basically, I'm sure they go on about aliens from the Lyra system. Is it a Lyra space, or is it a constellation? Yeah, so these aliens anyway, they're from this place. Then our greatest fears have been realised. Right, this guy, he's actually based... Well, I say a real person, it's a legend. What am I on about? It's not Admiral, is it? Right, what am I doing? So this guy is supposed to be a Pleiadian. Who claims to be an immortal ambassador from Venus. I could have swore someone said he was a Pleiadian. Yeah, so apparently this guy was teaming up with the government or something. He was supposed to be like an alien. He looks like a Pleiadian, basically. So he's a Pleiadian in this, but that name is amazing. I was like, I have to use that name in something, and this is obviously the perfect project for it. Right, so Valvine is of the Pleiades. His species could walk among man without issue. Tall and white blonde, pale with golden skin. Do they have the width? No, because it's like pale golden skin. Yeah, so they have like a whitish blonde. Let me have a look. Because Pleiadians are popular in all this nonsense. New Age stuff. It's like, oh, you know, I'm connecting with so and so from the Pleiades. It's nonsense. They're basically like elves. It's literally like elves in Lord of the Rings. They're just like these tall, pale, blondish, attractive looking. They're supposed to be aliens, but they look like us. Yeah, that starseed. I think that's nonsense as well. It's very much this whole new age UFO. It's very religious. You're essentially just swapping out aliens for angels. It's essentially the same thing, because they basically worship these I can't even speak. They're basically worshipping these aliens, essentially. Is this a rogue pocket of survivors or another Draco colony? We don't know, Admiral. But they have substantial space forces. Most of our fleet was destroyed, and rather quickly. I'm told they possess several capital ships amongst other assets. I don't think they know about the space station, you know. Because if it didn't move, I don't think it didn't move noticeably, and then it wiped out the capital ship as well as a bunch of other ships. And you're not gonna see an asteroid just whip across if you're in like a fighter. Right, so Thompson, he's a human. Again, he looks mid-50s. This guy's like 12,000 years old or something. So he was a commander in the old war against Anu. And then they've got this thing called Void Caller. It's basically it's a weapon that creates a black hole, essentially. So that's what they used to win the last war. So straight away he's like, we need to use this now. If we do not eradicate the Draco now, they will replicate. They will wage war across our territories. Understand that your inaction and hesitation here today will cause the death of billions. Very true, and that does happen. There is a human presence on the core planet within the system. We'll be sentencing. Why can't I speak today? We'll be sentencing them to death. If that is the price we must pay to end this now, so be it. Yeah, so this guy's brutal. In terms of, if we have to lose Agarta, that's fine. These lot didn't know about Agarta. He obviously know there's people on it because of what Regina said. An argument ensues. Sarin looks mid-30s. She's another one. She's like over 10,000 years old. So she comes in. There is concerning news from Zeta Reticuli. The Greys have stormed our embassy and neutralised Admiral Draythorn's fleet. So Admiral Nonsense name had a fleet in Zeta Reticuli. So the Greys basically attacked at the same time as when, at the end of the last movie. This is no coincidence. Why would they throw away 10,000 years of peace? I reckon the Germans will do something like this, Germans are, they're they're well liked now. I'm telling you, if shit kicks off, the Germans are just gonna. The Germans will lose their head. Just trust me on that. I have put out an alert to all systems and fleets to stand by for immediate defence. So they're obviously expecting a large-scale assault to happen. So she leaves. I'm gonna try and swear less in this, because I was like, yeah, she fucks off in the last one. I won't be doing that as much. Right, so he looks back at the holograms and then he intervenes. I will send 3 of my fleets to their system, and Thompson knows that they'll get their asses kicked. He disappears. Right, Cyrus. So he's from Syria, and again, I'm sure, because a lot of these aliens, I do get it from the UFO lore. Syrian alien. Yeah, that's a wrong one, that. Yeah, so it's just some nonsense alien. It's nothing like this, because this is like, you may as well that's just basically an angel, isn't it, in religion. It probably will look something like that, or something, I don't know. It don't really matter. Whoever, if this gets made, just It's some fancy alien. If our secondary offensive fails, what then? Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I shall address you upon completion of this operation. Right, yeah, so this Val, he was an important character in if the prequel gets made. So he actually adopted Vidon in his past life. So that Hathor guy, this guy basically adopted him as like a second son. And this guy's also mates with Shesnu, who's Mara's dad. So everyone's left, it's just him. He rubs his face in thought. Are you going to find him? So he's on about Shesnu now. So then we get to meet Shesnu now. Shesnu's just kicking ass. So a man in draconic armour and a mask reminiscent of Vidon's guns down Arxis alien mercenaries. Yeah, so this is like... Arxis is like... it's like some sort of gang. I remember originally... Oh, did I call these Black Sun Syndicate or something like that? And I didn't realise that it's actually... I basically named it after what's also in Star Wars without even realising. So yeah, in Star Wars, Black Sun Syndicate is a powerful organisation. So in the book, I basically called these guys that without realising. So I changed it to Arxis. I think it sounds alright. So yeah, this is Shesnu. Former coalition hero, former slave to Anu. He was kind of like what Vidon is to the Lord Archon. He was that to Anu, but Anu was a lot more brutal. So he's the father of Mara. Yeah, so he was born in ancient Egypt, 12,000 BC. So in this story's universe, I do it where, so like the theory of aliens actually being the gods, I essentially use that theory in this story. So I do it where, like 12,000 BC, there was a civilization that was advanced, and you had things like 1 minute. There's a theory that the Sphinx is 12,000 years old, and that implies that there was there was an advanced civilization before. So the pyramids were made in like 2,500 BC. So if this is right, that Sphinx there is 10,000 years older than the pyramids. Maybe it's supposed to be that. So I used this theory within this universe. So I do it where there was even pyramids and that about then, but when Anu came in, he basically wiped it all out, and he robbed Shesnu from his parents at the same time. Right, so Shesnu's just picking off these mercenaries. He takes cover, peeks, shoots 2 more. So this is just action now. This is like, you know, I can't really write much here. So this Welmo guy, he doesn't know it's Shesnu yet, because he's obviously hiding. Are you one of Laszlo's? So I just made up a guy's name. So Welmo is a Syrian male and Arxis mercenary. He hides. He readies an explosive. You wish. And then he obviously clocks on. Shesnu, my friend, there's no need for hostilities now. There's enough sand in the pit for us both. I'm not fond of sharing. He throws an explosive near Shesnu. Boom. Shesnu flies into the wall, but his draconic armor protects him. Yeah, because he's also got draconic armor. And that Welmo guy escapes. Shesnu pursues Welmo. It's a bit of a silly name now that I think about that. So Welmo enters a vehicle similar to a car that hovers and drives away. Shesnu emerges in a facility and equips a rifle. He shoots Wellmo from a great distance. The vehicle spins out and crashes. And then Chesnu enters the facility. Yeah, so he's just going through whatever they've got. So it's just various crates of like credits and drugs. So one of these crates has a black powder. I don't think I'd give it a name. It's basically like some sort of fancy cocaine, let's be honest. And he's like, yeah, don't mind if I do. And then Chesnu's putting these crates on the spacecraft. Yeah, it's like a Draco fighter spacecraft. And then he carries all but one crate aboard, and as he's about to put that crate on, Admiral Val comes in and puts a foot on it. What do we have here? Credits and below, what are you going to do about it, lover boy? I could put you away for a lifetime. Are you stalking me or something? So they haven't seen each other in a long time, these two. They were very much, so at first they were very much against each other, but over time they became mates. So Val just steps off the last crate. No need to stalk when you're the talk of the town. Chesnu takes the last crate on board the craft. Kiki wouldn't approve. Right, so that's Mara's mum. She's long dead. Chesnu utters a weighty breath. The Draco are back. Not possible. Because he knows that Anu and all that should be dead. Say that to our fleet which was just annihilated. We need you. Not my problem anymore. And then he says, well, I need you. And Chesnu's like, I can't. Yeah, he's fell out of love with the coalition. So he thinks Mara's dead. So Mara and Kiki died at the end of the last war, according to him. So he's kind of just, for many thousands of years now, he's just doing his own thing. He just doesn't want to get involved anymore. So Val watches Chesnu's spacecraft fly away. We're back on the Draco mothership now. So the Lord Archon's observing space, and then he sees Viden's spacecraft whiz by. And then Viden's spacecraft's just whizzing through space. Yeah, so the ship's piloted by consciousness. So he puts his hand essentially on... It's kind of like you'll be sat in a chair and put your hands on the rests or whatever, and it sort of connects you to the system. So he's obviously looking at Agarta now. And then we're back in Naprador at the Forum, so just outside Pyramid Base. It's still a mess because of the battle. So people are just cleaning up the debris and rebuilding the stalls and doing whatever. Young boy helps his mum rebuild her stall. He looks to the sky and he sees Viden's spacecraft. He's like, Mummy, look. Yeah, so Viden's at Mara's grave now. And the droid obviously goes with him. He's crouching at Mara's grave while the droid investigates. Query, what is my purpose? Should I kill something for you? Viden's sole attention is on Mara's grave. Maybe I could reword that. Viden holds his attention on Mara's grave. No. Observation, unexplained entity, master query, should I kill it? So Sophia comes up. She's like a ghost. Viden stands and looks at Sophia. Just an empty dead look in his eye. Premonition, I do not trust the ethereal nature of this entity, master. So the droid shoots Sophia, but the bullets just whiz through her. Sophia says she's with me, she's not in pain anymore, so she's on about Mara. Basically, Mara's spirit, really, she's probably lying there. Well, no, yes, she most definitely is lying. Maybe I should change that. Well, would she say that to make him... She probably would say... What's she gonna say? Oh, she's basically been recycled back through the system. The space people killed her. I'm so sorry. Sophia disappears. We don't see Sophia now until the end. Oh, no. Well, it's near the end. He does another DMT trip on an alien planet. Statement, yeah, so the droid's having none of this. It's like, statement, this doesn't make sense. Diagnostics, scanning result. Optical sensors working at maximum capacity. You know, the droid's obviously... You know, like, what the fuck is going on? So we do the moments later thing. The Aurora rises and soars towards space. So the ship travels toward the Draco mothership Ibu when 3 coalition fleets arrive from a quantum jump. So it'll arrive basically in front of Viden. Yeah, so expletive, that's because it's going to swear. We are no doubt unequivocally fucked, master. Whilst I am a most capable fighter, even I cannot overcome such a force. It was unpleasant knowing you during our brief stint together. The feeling's mutual. Suggestion, allow me to pilot the craft and we may yet survive this encounter. Yeah, so I do the OS with V's dialogue because I think that the droid's essentially... So if we're looking at Viden, we can't see the droid. And then the droid is like also connected to the system. It's yours. So now V's gonna pilot the craft of Viden. Lord Arkon appears on the holodeck. Retreat to Agarta. We can fight. No. You want to protect your people, then do it. Defend the forum. Objection. This is unfair, Master. I was promised a fight. If the last battle is anything to go by, a fight will get. They do. The Lord Arkon watches a tracker of the Aurora soar toward Agarta. Yeah, so he's obviously relieved. Use the railgun on their largest vessel, so he's on about the space station now. Right, so a grand battle in space. Planet protector satellites unload on the fighters and capital ships. Capital ships exchange fire, absolute carnage. So this is just going to be mad space stuff now. Fighters brawl. This is a bit more specific. An antimatter missile pursues a coalition fighter, kaboom. So yeah, it's just basically mad space fighting. A Draco subcommand ship stoops with one side ablaze. Coalition fighters strafe the damaged side. And then, right, Regina's back now. So she's part of a 5-fighter coalition squad named Cordis. It's named after someone, I know that. She observes the battle. Bogue is up ahead. Right, so Regina's squad is going to fight a bunch of Draco fighters. Regina pursues a Draco fighter and shoots him down. Bogey down, Cordis leader. And then she looks at Agarta. Right, so we're on one of the coalition command ships now. So 2 leaders, Admiral... Oh, I can't even speak. Admiral Opper. So he's, again, Arcturian. Let's see if there's any Arcturian alien. I'm sure these guys have, like... The concept of Arcturian New Age spirituality, alien, science fiction, franchise. Yeah, so just he looks like him. Whatever, he just looks like a silly alien. That's essentially just a grey that's blue. Yeah, so silly alien basically. The bridge. Right, here we go. I could reword that. So Admiral Opper is an Arcturian male and Commander Ferren is a human who looks 40. They observe the battle in space. Several Draco fighters glide past the bridge. They fire upon coalition fighters and the Stillwater command ship. I tell you what, Stillwater, that's named after Saint Rhoda. I think the city's called Stillwater. Right, the bridge is frantic with coalition operators. What I'm gonna do? Coalition. What am I doing? What am I doing? Coalition operators shout back and forth from workstations. Oh wait, from computer terminals. Does that make sense? From computer terminals, let's have a quick glance at GameStop. Terminals are light with information. Back and forth from terminals light up with information. Nah, I'm gonna delete that. A continuous bombardment rattles the ship. Do you have like... It's like anti-gravity sort of propulsion, and so on the ship. Well, in fact, it doesn't matter. What I'm gonna say doesn't matter for this one. Keep up the barrage on their largest command ship. Admiral, a planetoid has broken orbit, so they're on about the space station now. Yeah, this guy sees his ass. Paxil space station moves into view. Commander Ferrin knocks Admiral off his arm as he lunges forward. Is that, so it seems, call back our remaining fighters? A small asteroid 1 kilometre in diameter awaits in the railgun's mechanism. Admiral Oppers assesses the situation calmly. Prepare amazing... Oh, I can't speak. It's doing my head in. I keep slurring and just misspeaking. Prepare evasive manoeuvres. In a blind panic, Ferrin yells at the crew commanding the cannons. Fire everything at that planetoid. Also, if there's cannons on the Stillwater command ship, fire upon Paxil space station. Admiral Upper glares at Paxil. Jump back to Earth, and that's that Ferrin guy. Paxil stares at Admiral Upper like a cosmic horror. So it's gonna... In my head, there's a good little visual there. But Admiral Upper is calm and still, whereas that Ferrin guy is just seeing his ass. And then flash, because obviously the light of 1,000 suns blinds all. A debris wave decimates fighters of both sides caught in its wake. The John Stone capital ship also falls victim to the debris. So that's 2 of their capital ships got knocked out in one. A blinding light sears Regina's eyes. In the name of the Stillwater is gone. What could have caused that? And then Cordis Leader, but he's dead. And Cordis Leader, come in. Cordis 1 and 2, do you have eyes on Cordis Leader? No. We should retreat. No. We must push through to the surface on me. So Regina kind of takes on command. So she carves a path through the planet protector satellites. She's going to go for the forum here. In Pyramid Base. People in the forum watch the battle in space. Many flee the area. Women and children cry. The Aurora circles overhead, an angel in the sky. Yeah, so that's Biden. Well, the droid is piloting the craft, but he's obviously going to guard this place. A young boy watches the Aurora smiling. His father picks him up and carries him away. Yeah, because a lot of these guys, they're like, we need to get out of here because after what happened last time. So the Ultor is the 3rd capital ship. Commander Seymour is a man who appears for her, and one of Earth's finest military leaders. He observes the battle. The bridge is a beehive of activity. I've done is again. I'll keep it for now. I like that phrase. I know it's a bit passive. Sit rep on the John Stone, destroyed as with Stillwater is just us now. The station is targeting us. Prepare to skip on my command. So he's on about doing like a mini quantum jump. They have a line of sight. Paxil looms glaring at them. Commander Seymour is stuck in thought. Commander Seymour wrestles. Commander Seymour wrestles. Wrestles in his mind. Does that make sense? Commander Seymour wrestles in his mind. Order all that remains of our fleet to retreat. Activate the jump. We return to Earth forthwith. Forthwith is a sweaty word. Right, so we're back in Naprodo now in the forum. A woman can make out Cordis 1 approaching. She breathes deeply, accepting death. Boom. The Aurora comes in and destroys Cordis 1. People in the forum cheer. Aurora soars into the sky and engages 3 more coalition fighters, including Regina. Cordis 3 explodes. Right, so Agarta's atmosphere. Aurora chases Regina's fighter. So they fly quite far away from the forum here because it's rapid. They're travelling thousands of miles an hour. Regina's fighter. Regina calmly assesses the situation, alerts Blurt. Cordis 2, I have a bogey up my ass. I'm on him, Cordis 5. Aurora dodges attack from Cordis 2 and stops on a dime. Yeah, so it's anti-gravity. And it has like an inertia modifier, or nullifier. So if you're in a plane and you're going 1,000 miles an hour, I know that's too fast for a plane, and then you stop on a dime, the inertia will make your body like crash into, I don't know, like crash into the windscreen or whatever. But in these spacecrafts, that inertia is nullified, so you can just stop on a dime and you can turn, and there's basically no G-force. So Aurora dodges attacks from Cordis 2, stops on a dime, and then Cordis 2 comes into view because he's obviously still flying forward. Getting V. Cordis 2 explodes from a missile. A missile destroys Cordis 2, is it? And then droids like mockery it all too easy. There's one more, so it's just them and Regina now. Correction, not for long. So Regina's fighter arches around and storms toward Aurora. Both spacecraft unload on each other. Both spacecraft twirl and evade, but they're obviously flying at each other. They're trying to shoot each other, but they're sort of dodging at the same time. And as they twirl and evade, they clip each other's edges as they pass at breathtaking speed. Alarm, system failure. Aurora whirls out of control. And the droid actually says it. Reassurance, do not fret, Master, we still have half a ship. Diverting all power to the inertia neutralizer, lest your organs turn to mush. So really, if this was like a normal built plane, for example, he'd be just dead now. As in just from the sheer G-force. So Vidon assumes death is imminent. He closes his eyes, accepting it. Forestry. Aurora spins out of control and crashes. But it's none of this fireball nonsense, as in, so he's alright because of the inertia nullifier. And then nearby, so in these coalition craft, an absorbent bubble activates around Regina's fighter just before she crashes. So then that absorbent bubble will obviously stop. It'll reduce the impact on the craft. Come over, Shippy Boo. The Lord Archon watches Aurora's tracker disappear on a terminal. He clutches his face because obviously he's worried about Vidon being dead. Note the location and time of Aurora's crash. I want eyes on him. Logged. Update on his vitals. So the operator's going to obviously tell him he's alright. Vidon crawls out of the Mango's ship. V196 emerges from a port. Statement, forgive the turbulent landing, Master. Luck favoured the flesh jockey this time. Let's find him. The protective bubble on Regina's ship has been cut. Vidon investigates the area. Noise behind. Regina aims a gun at Vidon. V196 emerges and aims a gun at Regina's head to her periphery. That's a sweaty word. Query, shall I send this flesh jockey to another universe, Master? It depends. I should kill you. Statement, you'll die first. The gun. So Regina throws the gun at Vidon. Are you some sort of hobbit, Draco? I'm human, you fool. Question, shall I kill the flesh jockey now, Master? No. Request, could you repeat the command, Master? I think my auditory processor is malfunctioning. NO, no. Objection, this is so incredibly unfair, Master. V196 doesn't drop its guard. An opening in the trees gives sight to the carnage above. Regina goes to it and observes the coalition forces in ruins. Pockets of combat here and there. Surviving remnants retreat. Biden follows Regina's gaze. Looks like we're winning. Correction, 1, Master. Regina aims a second gun at V196, who matches faster. This is a GameStop reference. Statement, I have 740 protocols of elimination. Query, which do you choose? Eat shit, bot. It hates being called bot. Necessary addendum, make that 741. So there's like, in GameStop, 741 is kind of... It has meaning. It's been around for so many years, I actually forget why that came about. But basically 741's important in GameStop. Gun. So Viden offers his hand. Regina reluctantly passes him the second gun. This is my favourite line now. So obviously the droid calls people flesh jockeys. And Regina's a woman. The droid sounds like a woman. Here's a statement for both of you knob jockeys. How about we survive first and kill each other later? If that's said right, I can't speak well. As you probably noticed, I'm having a terrible time today. If you get good actors and it's set up right, that should be hilarious. And that's actually my favourite line. Here's a statement for both of you knob jockeys. How about we survive first and kill each other later? Correction, that is a query, Master. Answer, I do not accept. You're going to have to. What he said. Irritated statement, Master, I do not need a second... He's calling it a hominid now. A second hominid on our journey home. Suggestion, I suggest we kill the prisoner and use it as food to sustain your personage. I feel like I'm not giving it justice. I feel like the dialogue's crap, but it's because of I'm saying it craply. I know this droid would be good if it's done right, but I can't give it justice. Alright, so Regina looks at the droid, then Biden, then the droid. We are not killing anyone, alright. Confusion, Master. 10 minutes ago you decided the disintegration of the flesh jockey. Now we have it prisoner, you decide no. Different circumstances. Opinion, I think you sustained an injury to your prefrontal cortex, Master. It's either this or the prisoner's pheromones are clouding your judgment. Query, do you find it sexually attractive, Master? Can you please switch off your talking protocol? What she said, yeah, so it's a bit of a callback to what she said. Answer, I could, but my commentary is integral to my servitude of the Master, isn't it, Master? So Viden's just like, yeah, whatever. Viden trudges onwards. God, just kill me now. Proclamation, no one kills the Master while I exist, not even a god could take me. You've got one for life here. Right, I'm just going to have a minute. I just need to nip toilet. I'm going to have a drink as well. Yeah, back in a minute. put a bit of music on as well in the background. I feel like I'm really struggling today, I'm not gonna lie. I have had bad sleep for about a week or so. Like last night I had terrible sleep. But my sleep pattern's messed up, but it's so hard sleeping during the day in this noisy house. But I need to fix it. It's not impacting my work. I'm working part-time at the minute because I'm focusing on this writing. I'm trying to just go all out with the writing. I've been a bit slow recently because I think it was about a week and a half ago I finished. Might be about 2 weeks now, you know. Yeah, it's about 2 weeks. I finished these three. I worked a bit on the Boudica one yesterday. Because like I said, when it's being recorded, I feel like, I could do a stream where I do really focus in on it and maybe not speak as much, but I feel the more I speak it is better, but I feel like I am struggling today. Let's turn that down a touch. I hope it's alright so far. I think it should be okay. I just think because my head's not fully in it. And the way I'm speaking isn't helping. Just going to finish this drink. So basically now, these two are going to have to survive for a bit. When I was first rewriting it, I had an idea of just cutting this entirely. Because I felt like, oh, it's a bit slow, but there is good moments in it. A lot of Destroyed's best dialogue is in this bit. And to be fair, it is important that Viden kind of learns a bit about the coalition with her. And he won't know about Earth unless he met her. And then the Lord Archon actually uses her to get Earth's coordinates again. So this is actually very important for the story. And it shows a bit of character as well. It shows again about Viden being virtuous. I get that point across. Viden'd actually be decent in real life, you know. It's an injured prefrontal cortex. So the prisoner's pheromones are clouding your judgment. In fact, do you find the prisoner query? Do you find the prisoner sexually attractive, master? Yeah, because I'm just kind of trying to whiz through this. Like I said, I'm more trying to just experience it rather than correcting it. I might try and just be a bit slower than... God just couldn't poke me. No one kills the master wisest. Not even a god could take me. You've got one for life here. Right, so we're in Woodland. Yeah, so Viden leads the droid and Regina through dense woodland. How long until we find civilization? Because they're essentially in a wilderness here. They're not... I suppose they are kind of close to Naprador. But they're still days away. How long until we find civilization? I don't know. Please, I beg you, Master, please allow me to terminate the prisoner. No, I am not to be terminated. Your droid has issues, Hobbit Draco. Retort, my issue is you. I will carry you home, Master, if you would please allow me to kill it. Commentary, I could strip its flesh and feed it to the beasts in the forest. Beasts. And then a horrible animal beckons in the forest. If we're dealing with beasts, I'll need a weapon. Suggestion, Master, since I am forbidden to kill the prisoner, I could disable my assassination protocols when we are in the vicinity of a human-eating predator. Then the predator can kindly consume the prisoner. This way, you can be rid of it with a good conscience. I am here, you know. V196 doesn't look at Regina. Correction, not for long too. So it said not for long before. You need to fix this bot. Its behavior module is dicked. Right, I've added that recently. Its behavior module is dicked. Warning, do not call me bot. A gun rests beside Regina's temple. Diagnostics, I am functioning at maximum capacity. In comparison to me, you are no better than a feces flinging monkey. Oh, yeah, I like this. Regina, no, the droid nudges Regina with the gun. Request, dance for me, monkey. Put on a top hat and give me a twirl. That's something. I don't say the So in Green Street, the guy goes out, come on, dance for me, Yankee. So I say that to the pets, and then I added this. So if I'm just taking the mick out the pets, I'd be like, oh, go on, dance for me, Yankee. Put on a top hat, give me a twirl like that. Back up. Why do you want to kill all the time? Yes, I'd like to know. Answer, your preservation is my primary function, master. First above my own self-preservation, despite my grievances on the matter. Continuation, I am concerned the prisoner will inflict harm upon you, more so in the night while you sleep. This flesh jockey could kill you, master. It could eat you or worse. How would I explain this to your master? Do you know what happens to me if you die? Between it and you, I think I'd be better off with the beasts. So Regina carries on. Continuation, if you die, I become scrap metal. A terrible waste of my, quite frankly, genius engineering. Addendum, also I lose a bet. Right, so they're creating a shelter now for the night. Why am I putting dusk? Just put night. Using dusk for. Request, allow me to patrol through the night, master. There are a whole manner of predators in these parts. It would be terrible if one were to eat you while you sleep. If one were to eat you whilst you sleep. Regina, that means protecting me too. Yeah, V196 isn't happy about that, so it goes away. Right, Regina, when we find civilization, what happens to me? So if you remember in part 1, Chariot said that is for the Lord to decide, so Vaiden kinda, you know, it's like, oh, that is for the Lord to decide. So Vaiden's kind of, you know, accepting that now. I think the internet's just dropped out. It shouldn't affect this video. That is for the Lord to decide. Why are you serving them? Do you know what they have done, not just to Earth, but this entire galaxy? Yeah, so she's on about... So at this point, they know the Draco were influencing Earth's history. I think I'd do it where the younger Dryas, there was a massive cataclysm about 12,000 BC. I do it where humans had an advanced civilization. Draco come in, and I think they might use a comet, you know, a comet / asteroid, and then you wallop Earth with it, and that essentially takes out the civilization. So the younger Dryas, there was like a massive climate change, and they think it was because of a comet impact. And it would have absolutely wiped out any human civilization at the time. As in, like, a sizable amount of the people. Something like 90% of people would have died. And it is a real thing that, as in scientists, you know, they know about the younger Dryas. But I'm implying in my story that the Draco did it. I don't agree with that in real life. I do think it's just a comment. But I do it in mine where it was them. Why are you serving them? Right, here we go. All my life I looked to the stars, believing there were others out there, even when my own mother said otherwise. It's actually kind of true in real life. I activated that beacon believing that you would come to save us from these evil gods, and all you have brought is death and destruction to my people. So Vidon just continues to make the shelter. We didn't know there was a human colony here. He just ignores her. I'm sorry, truly. Sorry doesn't undo what you've done. Sorry doesn't bring her back. So is it about Mara? I'm an hour in. To be fair, I think I whizzed through the first 20 pages very fast. I think that's why I was struggling to speak, you know. Whereas now I'm being a bit slower and I feel like I'm speaking it better. Regina looks at Vidon with kinder eyes as he builds a shelter. Yeah, so she's trying to... Well, not trying to, but she's starting to understand... You know, he's not... He's not a bad guy, Vidon. I think in the book I tried to maybe make it a bit of a romance type of thing, but I don't do that here. Regina tries to sleep in the makeshift shelter but can't. Vidon cannot switch off his mind. Every micro sound tempts his ear. I haven't gone camping in a long time. This was the norm for our ancestors living off the land. They don't get enough credit. I actually agree with that. Vidon remains quiet. How did you get to this planet? I'm born here. Mara said something about a Banthia because he doesn't know what that is. There were survivors because she knows about what happened. That planet got walloped. She said we descended from people from Banthia. She was one of them. I don't know how she lived so long. She's like, how old are you? So on Agarta, Vidon's 23, but in our time, like in our years, it'd be like 25. So Agarta, I'm trying to think, does that mean Agarta turns slower? So 365 days on Earth might be like 400 days on Agarta or something like that. It's not exact to Earth. If this world turns anything like Earth, you're a fetus. I'm tickling 2000 now, even that's a baby these days. Which is true. What's Earth? Yeah, because Vidon doesn't know about Earth. It's humanity's home. It's not so dissimilar to this world, only infinitely more beautiful. So Regina smiles as she ponders. You really are out of sight, out of mind out here. Regina looks Vidon up and down. Why let me live? My father would tell me a warrior isn't measured by the lives he takes, but rather by the lives he spares, even if he has every reason not to. When I stand before God, am I supposed to say, I killed you because it wasn't convenient to spare your life? So you believe in God? Vidon ponders. I believe we have a mother. Right, I'm gonna do an actual scene heading now. Horrid animal back on some afar, catching Vidon's attention. Yeah, so Regina sleeps, but Vidon can't. So Vidon wanders with his mind adrift. Behind him, 3196 silently lurks like some sort of cryptid. And she scares him. But statement, V196 catches Vidon off guard. Do you have to? Statement, you should be sleeping, master, recovering your feeble strength. I need a minute alone, just leave me alone. Query why. Fuck off, would you? He says that later as well. Observation. You're a very cruel master. I like it. He likes it a bit too much. It actually, in a way, gets off on getting insulted by its master. It is pretty funny. V196 matches onward. So it does a little song here. Diagnosis for stroke is inefficient. Emotion clouds logic, but I am perfect. Assessment. You tremble in the dark, praying to your fragile gods. I could probably reword this. V196 is too far away for Viden to hear. He rolls his eyes and sighs. I might just delete that. Viden sleeps in a makeshift shelter. A dead animal lands on his face, waking him. Request eat master. Blood and guts. Blood and guts coat V196. You're a fucking mess. Insincere offence. It is one thing for the prisoner to insult me, but you, master. I'm not good enough for you, master. Statement. I killed 2 nonsense names, 1 nonsense name, and 5 nonsense name animals. You'd be nothing more than excrement in the bowels of a monster. Where is the prisoner? Regina investigates bushes with berries on them. So, off camera, V196, please be dead, please be dead, please be dead. Viden arrives with V196, expletive. Fuck me, master. Regina, can we eat these? So I just made up this nonsense here. If he's green, he's mean. If he's red, you're dead. If he's purple, you're definitely dead. Suggestion, eat the red or purple one. Regina discovers strawberries. You have strawberries here. Don't eat. Regina eats the strawberry. She smiles, just like home. How about that? And V196 is like, please be dead, please be dead. Like, please die, please die. Regina gives V196 daggers for eyes. She throws a strawberry at Viden. He catches it. It's good, trust me. Viden tentatively eats the strawberry. Commentary, you're gonna put your faith in the prisoner, master. Very foolish indeed. Yeah, so he obviously assumes the strawberries are bad. I'll probably do it where, for whatever reason, because the original settlers would have had like seeds and stuff like in the ship. As in, they would have had like resources in case this happened, because it was an escape ship. It just didn't have a quantum drive, or if it did have a quantum drive, it was broke, because otherwise they'd just jump to a system like Earth, because they were at Banfield. Right, Paxil Space Station, the bridge. So yeah, the Lord Archon's watching satellite footage of Viden's crash. Fast forward, Viden crawls out. Oh, I can watch satellite footage. Fast forward, Viden crawls out. Relief. He zooms out and speeds the footage. Observes the trio trek through forestry. The Lord Archon The Lord Archon leaves, watched by a Draco operator. Yeah, so that operator's kind of like, because you got too much of a soft spot for this human. Right, so Viden checks board on footprints in the mud. So just a nonsense name predator. A steaming pile of feces nearby. Jostle behind, a juvenile Bourdon rushes Regina and latches onto her leg. Bang. The Bourdon lands on the ground dead. It releases Regina. Blood pours from Regina's leg. Blood squirts from Regina's leg. Expletive, damn my programming master. If my reactions were but slightly delayed, we could have been rid of the prisoner. Refutation not to worry, blood loss and shock may still do the trick. Regina can't catch her breath as she wails. Vaden runs to Regina's aid. He's only young, the mother will be close. V196 scans the area. Vaden evaluates Regina's wound. He pulls out his excited draconic dagger. Regina's eyes widen. This is gonna hurt. Vaden covers Regina's mouth with one hand and whatever. He uses the thing, cauterizes the wound with the other. That isn't. I don't like that word. The Bardon mother charges at V196 from cover. The droid captures the creature's jaw in motion. Music. Yeah, I added this last time. Musing, if not friend, then why friend shaped? V196 pushes the creature's jaw until the skull folds back on itself. Crunch, whimper. So Regina goes unconscious, but the bleeding has stopped. So Vaden carries Regina. Suggestion: we could dismember the prisoner, master. It would be easier to transport it this way. No, come on. V196 utters a disgruntled groan. So the Lord Archons fly into their location now. Have you found him? Chariot, I shall send the feed with his signature highlighted. He's heading in the direction of a stag cluster. So these guys are like nonsense name predator animals now. They're basically like bears. They're just basically bears. Vaden carries Regina. V196 marches beside him, flowing water nearby. Vaden sets Regina down and walks to the edge of the slight hill they are on. In the creek below are 24 stags. Bulky creatures similar to bears. They catch and eat fish. So it's just a bear basically. Oh fuck. One stag eats a fish, looks at Vaden and continues eating. Yeah, so this, I like this one. He basically just doesn't care. He's like, sees Vaden, it's like, yeah, whatever, I'm just gonna eat these fish. So V196 looks over the creek. Observation, multiple stags must have. Yeah, he loves to do that. Just says what's there. But then it has a go at Vaden for doing the same. A stag looks at V196 and roars. Others join suit. Yeah, so obviously they don't like the look of the droid, so they're just going to go and attack now. This is your fault. Fuck you, getting eaten because of you. Warning, do not insult me, master. Something I can only describe as lost is brewing in my behavioural job. The stags charge out of the creek in multiple directions. Right, so the stag that first looked at Vaden continues eating. He wants no part in this. He's just not asked. He's just eating. Query, do I have permission to kill now, master? Yes. Vaden equips Mara's gun, so there's only one bullet. V196 picks off stags at a great range. Then aims in the direction which the main group will soon come from. So they're kind of like... In my head, I can see the terrain. I hope I've described it right. There's probably a video I can get on YouTube, but I don't know if it'll be copyrighted. There's a video on YouTube where a bear sits next to a guy, but the guy's on like a ledge that overlooks a creek. It's a similar terrain to that. Oh, I just need to yawn. So let me just... Very finger, so it's 761. Right, so Vaden sees a stag making its way around to him. It soon appears on bare terrain and charges. Vaden shoots, click click, the stag continues. He pulls out his dagger and throws it, impales the stag in the head and it falls dead. Yeah, so Mara's gun now, it's out of bullets. V196 guns down multiple stags with precision. Every bullet a hit. Yeah, it's a really good shooter, that. Vaden runs to get his dagger, but another stag charges at him. V196 twists, shoots, twists, continues shooting at the main group. The Lord Archon spacecraft arrives and bumps a couple of stags over the ledge and back into the creek. The stag that looked at Vaden grunts and walks away. The stag that first looked at Vaden grunts and walks away. Yeah, he wants no part. Lord Archon lands the spacecraft. Lord Archon emerges. One stag is barely alive. He decapitates it. Metaphor, must you continually cockbot me, Master of the Master? I was beginning to have fun, metaphorically. What have you got yourself into now? Biden carries Regina. She needs help. Yeah, so they're in a medical bay now. We're back at Pyramid Base. I'm tired, but I'll probably still be up at like, buddy, 7 AM. Regina regains consciousness in a medical pod. So this is similar to when Viden had his first trip. It's basically the same location. Lord Archon sits nearby. It'll scar, but you'll be able to walk out of here. Yeah, because they have good technology. Regina looks at her healed leg. Tell me about the coalition. There's not much to tell that you don't already know. So the Lord Archon's like bemused by it. Are you Anu? Luckily for you, no, he does not share my cordial nature. Very true. You can return to Earth. I'm assuming that's where you've come from. You'll give me a ship. Why not? I have nothing to gain from holding you prisoner. Nothing to gain from your death. You may see me as a monster, and you're right to do so. I'm sure you've been taught as such. You attacked us. You're in my system. The first time. So she's on about when the Draco went to Earth originally. How much of our history did you manipulate? Yeah, so she's on about like the alien god hypothesis. Humanity has a tendency to revere that which it does not understand as divine. It is not my fault. Lord Archon stands. You know, Dracena was home to more than just us. How many trillions of life forms did your commanders sentence to death? Your species takes pride in its humanity and you don't employ it. Regina can't say much. I kinda like this. Maybe war isn't your purpose, darling. I suppose this is like the end of Act 1 now, isn't it? Biden waits outside the medical bay. Regina, the Lord Archon walks Regina out. May I speak to him? Lord Archon nods. She comes to Biden. You had no obligation to help me. And he goes on about the virtue again. Virtue isn't always convenient. And I'm not as virtuous as I thought. Yeah, because admittedly she wouldn't have... If the situation was reversed, she wouldn't have rescued him. Thank you. What now? I get to go home apparently. You'll always have a place on Earth, Aiden. So she hugs him and then whispers, come with me, I can't. I can do more good here. In the hug, Biden glances at the Lord Archon down the hall. Safe travels. And she says, may we meet again. So she gestures her respect and walks toward the Lord Archon. She stops. I'm sorry about Mara. And then she leaves. Right, here we go. So the Lord Archon and Viden, they watch basically Regina on a neutral spacecraft, and it flies off. They will come again soon. Then we should prepare. You don't leave my sight henceforth. Yeah, the Lord Archon's not having none of this. Like, Viden's just going to stay with him now. And then the Lord Archon watches towards his spacecraft. Viden obviously watches. I can't stop yawning. And the Lord Archon looks back. Agarta has a beautiful moon, don't you think? So he said the same thing to Mara. Right, so we're back to Earth now. Regina emerged from a jump. Call sign, whatever, nonsense number. She passes through the space security measures and into the atmosphere. Right, she lands, gets out, arbitrarily used, so her dad waits. Like, they rush to each other and hug. I thought you were good as dead. I should be. You're going to be the death of me, girl. It's actually very true. you stay with me from now on. So it's kind of mirroring what the Lord Archon said. She literally is the death of him. She's literally the death of Earth, basically. Right, so we're in Earth again. Coalition Base Command Center. I have concerning news regarding our recent operation. Commander Seymour. Commander Seymour described a planetoid that moved against its orbit. This planetoid unleashed a projectile that destroyed both the Stillwater and the Johnstone, and that Thompson's guys look Voidcaller. The threat of such a weapon goes beyond the target system. There is potential for catastrophic collateral damage across solar systems. Do we want a repeat of Valencia? Yeah, so these black holes don't stay in the same place. They just wander about and they can suck up other planets. So I'm basically implying that Valencia was another planet that basically got sucked up by the black hole that they created to kill the Dracaena planet. Yeah, he's not happy because none of you have what it takes to win a war against the Draco, he's right. All of you were sprogs in the last war. None of you were there where I was. You would be wise to accept my counsel on this matter. The Draco would not hesitate to deploy this weapon if they had it. And mirroring what Mara said, we are not them. No, we are not them. No, because you'll be deadly. Right, so we're going to Patzel Space Station now. Oh, that I can feel when I sit and Vyden exit the car. Vyden is in awe and looks at the Draco warriors and labourers as they perform their routine tasks. Statement: do not gawk, master, it is rude. Right, we're in the Patzel Space Station. Vyden overlooks the assembly of a military arsenal through a transparent pane, so through a window. I don't know why I do that. Through a transparent pane. I mean, to be fair, it's not like a small window, it is like a big... It is a big transparent pane. Droids and Draco wander throughout the facility assembling weapons, spacecraft and equipment. Lord Archon enters. Remarkable, isn't it? They observe the assembly together. I thought I'd never step foot outside Artsville, and now I'm standing inside the moon with a god. Has Sophia told you about the Demiurge? Only that it created our universe. True in real life. Yes. The Lord Archon sighs and looks through the window. Why? Right, so we... do I say? Right, so in real life, my real life opinion on this. The Demiurge is an AI. And I don't mean like a literal computer. Because I don't think that there's a physical universe. So in the Matrix, you have the normal universe. The machines have taken over and then they've captured the humans, put us in pods, and then created what we interpret as our universe. I don't think it's like that. I believe that, similar to this, that we have our own reality outside of this. And that we've been captured somehow. So I believe in real life the Demiurge is a machine. And it essentially harvests the energy of our soul. And I'm assuming it's to essentially feed entities. So like these entities essentially feed off of our energy. Because I'm assuming that this machine, you know, it's been made by something else. But the machine is what both created and maintains the universe. So like when you die and you see the light and all that, that's basically the machine love bombing you. And when you see your family, when you see Jesus or Arabella or whatever, aliens even, I've seen some people have a near-death experience and said that essentially what they would describe as aliens came to them. It's basically, basically most of these near-death experiences are the same, but they're different. It's different to each individual. So you could say, oh, it's just all nonsense in the person's head, but I actually disagree. And the only explanation is it's a machine that is essentially... It knows how to get you. It'll essentially shapeshift, and it's not that the machine itself, it's like the astral plane or whatever you want to call it. The machine has full control over it as well as this universe. It's not just our universe. You have like the astral that's like just outside the universe, but it still controls that. But I do believe it's as simple as just to feed off us. But in this, originally he said, so like, why did the demiurge create this? To feed. But I changed it to this. At first it was to harvest energy. Because the demiurge in this isn't an AI. It's like a... I suppose it's more akin to a god. It's like half of the source consciousness of all life, essentially. So in mine, he's doing it to harvest energy, hoping that with enough energy it can defeat Barbell and by extension kill itself, because the demiurge can't die when it wants to die. But like I said, in real life, I do believe it's just a feed off of our energy. We must fight him. Now that's Hathor talking, that's his past life. Lord Archon wanders in mind and body. Enki. The Lord Archon closes his eyes. We must fight him. We must try. Lord Archon's eyes shoot open. He sort of loses temper a bit. There is no try. Look at me. Do you want to be like me? If you face the demiurge, I cannot stop what will happen to you. That's true. Sophia can't. Also true. Not even Barbello can. Very true. Do you want to know a secret? No one's coming to save you. This is the thing that I worry about in real life. Because you look at all these different cultures, you look at religion, it's like, oh yeah, God's gonna save us, or Jesus will save us, Alabama will save us. You look at in the UFO, it's like, oh, the aliens will save us. It's the same thing. You know, back when I was super into Gnosticism, you know, I would think, oh, well, maybe Sophia will save us. No. No one's coming to save us. That's the issue. We have to get out ourselves. But I don't know how. At least your soul has sovereignty. Yeah. We still have control of our own soul in a way. Whereas his soul has been dominated. The Lord Archon leaves. Right, so Viden's in the landing port here with V196. The port is rife with activity. Is and then word. I'll leave it as it is for now. Right, the nameless one, we see him again, he's so good. So the nameless one just walks by and he notices Viden. And he's actually, you know, he's happy to see him, so he points at him. But the droid obviously hates Draco. Do not point your filthy finger at the master. So the nameless one just carries on walking by. Quiet, but I would knock the head clean off you. Provocation, come then. I shall gut you like the whore pig that you are. I have faced beasts far fouler than thee. And the nameless one scoffs and brushes off the droid's words. So he just carries on. Mockery, yes, walk away, bitch. He's alright, the nameless one, you know. We see him later on as well, you know. Once the nameless one is out of earshot, could you fly one of these ships? A Draco fighter jettisons from Patsul. The Lord Archon watches the Draco fighter fly by. Draco operator unauthorized departure, my lord. The Lord Archon has an inkling it's Viden. Leave it be. Yeah, he knows. He knows it's Viden, but he's obviously not going to kill him. He's sort of, it's like, right, fair enough. You've made the choice to leave. So let's just see what happens. Viden's Draco fighter. Do you know how to get to Earth? Answer, yes, master. The coordinates were just added to the system. Then it's time to go home. They basically tracked Regina's ship. Because I think the coordinates, in my head, these coordinates, they can kind of jumble them. So the Draco don't actually have Earth's coordinates anymore. I hope it makes sense, because I know you could say, yeah, but surely the coordinates are the same all the time, and fair enough, you can say that. But in my head, it's like, they can change. I'm just having a drink. I probably do sound crazy when I talk about the Soul Trap, if you've not looked into it. But it makes perfect sense. I'm adamant about simulation theory, and it's just an extension of simulation theory. Because it's alright saying, yes, simulation theory is true, but then why? Like, why create this universe then? Some people say, oh, it's a game. It's not a game. Look at the amount of evil that goes on in this world. Look at the amount of suffering that every human being endures by virtue of being in a body. We were never supposed to be in a body. It's like, I never knew what the Demiurge was. So the Demiurge basically just means creator of the universe. So it's what religion would call God. I never really, even when I was into Gnosticism, I always struggled to... Yeah, Gnosticism has a very religious view on it. So although it's true in many aspects, I never sort of fully believed it. Could someone like Sophia exist? Possibly. I don't know, but maybe our souls always existed. That there was no before. But yeah, because I've been looking into near-death experiences recently, the AI makes perfect sense. That's why I'm adamant that the Demiurge is an AI in real life. So it's similar to the Matrix, but just the Matrix had a very physical look on it, whereas I don't believe it's physical like that. So I can call it AI, but it might not. It's not like it's a computer. It's AI in the sense it's artificial, but it's hard to explain. It's like when people on NDEs, when they say, oh, I had a life review, that's very common. But some of them say it's like it's on a screen in front of them. I mean, we get more of this later on. I'll probably go more in depth into this later on in the script, because it's like, when you die, just don't go to the light. And if you see any other being, you have to ignore them. You can't interact with them. especially if it's trying to exert power over you or tell you what to do. If it tells you to do something, you do the opposite. I don't care if it's your parents. I don't care if it's Jesus or God. It's not God. It's the furthest thing from God. But it's going to feel like God. Because people say in the light, they feel a love they've never felt in their real life. You know, mothers have said that the love they felt in their near-death experience was 10 times the love they felt for the birth of their own child. But it makes sense that it's an artificial, probably some sort of frequency that's just being pounded upon your soul to make you docile. It's like a drug. It's like if you just get hit up with a fuckload of heroin. You could be in hell, but if you're blasting your tits off on heroin, it's gonna feel good. I'll carry on. So Vyden gets to Earth now. Coalition fleets, guards, satellite system, orbits, protective veil. I've used that a few times. Right, so there's visible defense systems on the moon. They basically kitted up the moon. Vyden is in awe of what's before him. I've got the ears again. Vyden's Draco fighter flies toward Earth, disregarding space security messages. Yeah, because he doesn't have a clue. So several fighters pursue him. Coalition base controlling crew. Crew sit at terminals, displaying information. Arbiter, I have an unidentified spacecraft in breach of security, making passage into the atmosphere. Scan it. On screen has live footage of the ships. Several fighters are in pursuit. Right, query, would you like me to enforce evasive and proactive maneuvers, Master? We're not here to fight. The spacecraft rocks. Observation warning shots, Master. Suggestion we could warn them with an antimatter missile to the face. No, we are not fighting. Mockery, your pacifism will kill us, Master. Proclamation, I will invoke my assassination protocols if they fire on us again. I shall cancel their subscription to existence. Right, put us through to them. So he's going to chat with Arbiter Liu now. Incoming transmission, identify yourself, human. What faction do you represent? I'm human. You're a pilot in a Draco fighter, I stole it. So obviously they can't believe it. It's like, how the hell is a human stole a Draco fighter? Do I sound Draco to you? How did you acquire the coordinates for Earth? I don't know, it's in the system. Right, you have permission to land in Bay Nonsense name. Our fighters will guide you. Yeah, so he's clocked on now that well, the Draco must have the coordinates. So he's going to give Vyden shit here, but then he's going to go and tell the Coalition commanders. So Vyden gets surrounded when he gets out of the spaceship. So V-196 aims all its weapons at the Coalition soldiers. Several compartments on its body reveal hidden weapons. Warning, it is impossible to kill the Master. Advisement, you would be wise to escape before I start breaking skulls. Arbiter Liu comes forth, not very welcoming here, is it? Vyden says. You're piloting our enemy's craft, you disregard simple etiquette. Interjection, the Master possesses a copious lack of wit on such matters. And you have an illegal droid. Deception, because it can't lie. I am a simple AGI companion, very legal, very cool. Arbiter Liu looks at Vyden. Who are you? I activated the beacon that made you come to Agarta. I journeyed with one of your warriors, Regina. She will vouch for me. Is she here? Yeah, so he's obviously taken aback because that's his daughter. Like, Vyden and V are in cells now, like conjoined prison cells. Regina arrives. Observation, the prisoner master How I would love to wring its neck. Hello to you too. How the tide has changed. I'll pull some strings and get you out, but we might have to send you to the kennels. Retort, you can try. Or have a hit a wire. Statement, just give the word, Master. I shall break us out of here and terminate all in our path, starting with this one. And Viden's like, you will get us out, right? But Regina's unsure. Statement, I sense deception in the former prisoner's voice, Master. As previously stated, all you need to do is give the command, please. It obviously wants to go ham on people. Right, so the coalition commanders are meeting up again. I believe the Draco have Earth's coordinates again. So Valiant 4 is going to send a fleet within 6 hours your time. I fear an imminent attack, Val. We are not prepared for a systemic invasion given recent losses. Yeah, so Earth's quite vulnerable right now. Because they had, what, 3 fleets essentially get annihilated. Right, so Valiant 4 says he's going to get a fleet there in 3 hours. So he goes away. Anyone else? They look to one another. Saren, I will bring the unity and 1,000 fighters in the hour. Where is she? She's in some other system now. You're a godsend. Have all systems on high alert. She might be like in Arcturian or something, like in the Arcturian system. Have all systems on high alert. Admiral's Arbiter Lyra will always be a home for humanity. Vega can hum millions should you require. So Vega's like the main planet of the Lyra people. Viden goes there later on as well. Viden pierce out the hole and sail. Coalition wander by. When can I be set free? They ignore him. The droid's not happy. I happen to feel a great sense of terror. My future seems to be one of deactivation or worse, benevolence. Due to your incessant pacifism, Master. My former master would have no hesitation in slaughtering his flesh truckers, so it's not about Asper. I'm not your old master. Retort, that much is clear. So alarms and people are running by. Something's happening. Statement, a way to state the obvious, Master. Henceforth I shall vocalize every meandering data string in my optical senses. Regina arrives. Observation, the flesh jockey master. In fact, that can be a little bit comical if it's played right. Come on. So Regina opens the cell. Yeah, so the droid pulls what Regina pulled on it. That includes me. Only if you promise not to kill me. Yeah, so V's not happy about that. Commitment, I promise not to kill you. I had an idea where it was going to get out and then just shoot her in the knee. Because technically it's not killed her. But then I was like, well no, because she needs to join the fight. Right, so Regina lets V196 out now. So what's happening, Viden asks. They get out of the base, so shit's going down in space. They look to the sky, a grand battle in space, so the Draco are attacking. Observation, wonderful master, another fight, get to your ship. Right, so the Black Manta decimates Earth's lunar defense system. Draco fighters blitz Earth's protective veil, carving a path through the satellite defense network. A Draco fleet led by the Black Malachi command ship engages the Coalition Defense Force and its capital ships. It's overpowered, that. They both are, to be honest. That's like a triangular animal as well. A beehive of activity in this control room. Terminals blink cry data. Focus on the largest vessel. Right, here we go. So this guy's like a Draco warrior commander, Dion Helm of Dracena. He observes the battle. A coalition capital ship stoops. Explosions boom left to right, spewing debris. Maintain the offense. The Lord will be here soon. So the Lord Archon's about to arrive with the space station. Coalition fighters take off. Surface defense systems fire into the sky. Viden and V reach their craft. Viden looks at Regina. She nods. Right, so they're in the spaceship now. Can you get us out of here alive? Confirmation, most certainly. Ship takes off. Warning. We may encounter hostilities from both sides. We look like Draco to the Coalition. Avoid the fight as best as you can. Request, allow me one kill, Master. No, we're not here. Right, so the whole base tremors from the aerial bombardment. Arbiter, there's a planetoid on my scope. So his mouth drops. He glares at Patsul on the scope. He stumbles out of the control room in a daze because he knows what's about to happen. Coalition personnel shuttle past Arbiter Liu in a frenzy. Right, Regina joins a squad of Coalition fighters. This is Echo Squad. Echo Leader, I'm going to tell you if you're affirmative fighter, we're going for the planetoid. And she sees it. Patsul Space Station Bridge. The Lord Archon observes Earth through the window. The gravity of Patsul Space Station causes a visible disturbance in the ocean facing its direction. So that will be causing a tsunami, that. Target Yellowstone. Viden sees Patsul as they make their way to space. Echo Squadron and Regina target Patsul's crater, homing the railgun. So they and Draco fighters strafe and defend the area. Regina's fighter fires 2 antimatter missiles and a barrage of shots in a strafing of the railgun. Does nothing. There's a 15km diameter rock inside the weapon's mechanism. That thing. I believe it's bigger than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, you know. Right, it was between 10 and 15. Rubble cracks and slips from the huge asteroid in the mechanism, but the weapon is unaffected. Side Coalition base. Arbiter Liu stumbles out of the base. He looks to the sky. Patsul Space Station looms like a second moon. Arbiter Liu is looking death. Planetary death in the eye. Arbiter Liu looks death. Planetary death in the eye. Surface cannons in the Coalition base fire at Patsul. The sheer power quakes the ground. Streams of blast shoot up, decimating civilian spacecraft in the crossfire. Civilian spacecraft flood the sky. Trying to flee. Arbiter Liu has to watch in horror, powerless to intervene. Yeah, so these civilians are getting blasted if they're going in the way. The Lord Archon glares at Earth. Target locked. On your command, my lord. Let loose. Regina strafes the railgun again when the weapon activates, so in a flash she's gone. A 15km asteroid. A 15km asteroid hurtles through the atmosphere. Bright as the sun. It blinds Arbiter Liu as it soars toward Earth's surface. God is in the light. Yeah, it literally would have been like a second sun. Yellowstone National Park. The asteroid hits, causing the most mammoth explosion in combination with a super volcanic eruption. So this is going to render Earth basically just not destroyed in a planetary sense, but uninhabitable. Arbiter Liu covers his eyes. Impact shockwave decimates everything. Right, seismic waves reverberate across the entire Earth. A spreading firewall and debris engulf North America. From the high vantage of space, it is eerily calm. Yeah, in my head, this is like a really good visual. Like, we basically see the planet from space and just see it just spread. Right, so Viden's watching the fireball in ejector cloud bulldoze its way through Earth's atmosphere. Urgent request, we need to leave, Master. Right, so we're on a random beach here. A mother and child build sandcastles. Humans and extraterrestrial enjoy the gorgeous sun. Clouds dissipate and the sky illuminates. The ocean retreats as if sucked by a monster plug. A dreadful quake, Mag 11. In the distance, a mountain of water races toward the beach, multiple kilometers high. People flee in terror. One man walks toward the coming wave and falls to his knees. There's no point in running. To be honest, I'd probably just do that. The mother cuddles her child. The mega tsunami eclipses the sun, causing a chill breeze. The child screams. The mother holds them close, locked in each other's arms, eyes closed and faces calm. That's a lyric from a song now. Swoosh. So obviously the tsunami's hit them. So the Lord Archon observes the aftermath of the asteroid impact. The grey ejector cloud now blankets North America. Pull everyone out, we're done here. Right, so basically all the Draco spacecrafts and Patsul, they just quantum jump back to Agarta. Right, I'm gonna have a quick break. Yeah, so that's like mega action there. This is the midpoint now. Like that was the midpoint then. And obviously Viden's seen it, so Viden now it's like with Viden, you can't really go back. It's like he can't stay on Earth obviously, and he can't go back to the Lord Archon. So he's gonna go and hunt for Shaznu in a minute. Yeah, just give me about 5 minutes. I'm gonna get a brew and get a drink. Yeah, 5 minutes. back. Gotta be careful not to speak too loud as well. That's why it is 2 AM. I'm just gonna check this a minute. So yeah, so with GameStop, apparently we're buying eBay. Even though eBay is 4 times bigger than us. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Yeah, so I had to take a fat loss on my covered calls, but luckily, so I took the loss on my covered calls there because my covered calls were at $23. And I bought more shares here as well, and obviously it kept going up and then it went dink. So, but if I'd have kept my original position from about a month or so ago, I'd have been up significantly more. But just because the market was being a dick, I sold. I had some options and that, and so I kind of took temporary loss, like round here. But then the market did that, and obviously that did help GameStop come up a bit. Basically, one minute. So it's like I sold my options, my leaps about there, expecting us to come back down here, and then I was going to go all in to get this move, but obviously because of the market it pulled us up before I could get back in. And I also sold the covered calls at 23 as well. It is what it is, it's a mistake, but I'm back in the game. I'm just all GameStop now. Hopefully it does something silly. We want one of them. Or even better, one of them. Before we go down into this, what's he on about? It's one of the OPEX, isn't it? HP on 57. It's been over 2 hours. It's gonna take me another 2 hours, isn't it? Oh man, I think it's because I've got to talk so much. The thought of talking for another 2 hours is... oh man. Whereas if I was just writing, it'd be fine. Alright, come on. Right, so Earth's just got walloped. So this is probably a few weeks later, this. So we just get a space shot of Pleiades 1. Right, so Valiant, so Admiral Val Valiant 4, he's almost like the #1 now. He heads a meeting with coalition leadership, all are downtrodden by the recent defeats. Glum, is it Glum? Glum atmosphere. The recent defeats. Yeah, so he's gonna say, have I got that right? Basically a few other systems have got walloped as well. Not to that extent, as in They haven't had their asteroid. They haven't had the planets blown up. Well, not blown up, but you know what I mean. As in with the asteroid, they've just been took over. Myra and Polaris have been overrun by an alliance of Draco and Greys. So in mine, I call that the Anunnaki Union. So Anunnaki's like... This is like an ancient Sumerian thing. So... I think I don't agree with the Anunnaki in real life. So these are like, I don't know, their own sort of race or whatever. But in mine, you've got the Archon Anu, who commanded the Draco. And then you've got the leader of the Greys, who's called Nake. So it's the Anunnaki Union. Right, so yeah, Commander Thompson for the last time used Void Caller. Embarrass silence, cowards, all of you. My world is in ruins. Thousands of our good men and women are dead. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm disappointed in you, Val. You used to have the bollocks to do what had to be done. All of this could have been avoided. Billions have perished, more will follow. He's right. How are we to defend ourselves? Our core worlds are protected, but the outer arms are vulnerable. Our Earth was protected, was it not? They wield a weapon of extraordinary power, but so do we. Must we wait for more worlds to suffer the same fate? Admiral Saren can't look in. If we destroy their core system and their weapon along with it, they won't have the capability to attack again. We need to help those trapped in their world first. Then we will consider such an escalation. Humanity has lost so much we cannot sentence another human colony to death. I won't stand for it. I would have thought you'd want to protect your own commander. Don't patronise me, Pleiadian. I want only to protect what remains of humanity. Yeah, so he knows no one likes him. Frown upon me all you like, the only reason we exist today is because of our deployment of Void Caller, which is true. I will both plan and lead an attack on their system, the primary target being the space station. Neutralising it will neuter their attacks. You'll sentence thousands of our good men and women to death again, and that, Pleiadian, that is something I won't stand for. So he goes away. Yeah, he's gonna see his ass and rob that weapon. Right, so this Commander Thompson guy, he's on a planet called Centaur, which is Alpha Centauri. Let me search that up. Yeah. So I do it in mind. There's 2 planets that have life on it in this system. You got Centaur and then Tauri. Oh no, Taura I think it's called. But the aliens from there are called Tauri, I think. In mine. Right, so he walks to the window and looks over the beautiful scenery. Ah, Lianus. I've got that from Finger. Boudico. I didn't have it. He didn't have a name originally. Captain Lianus sits. Captain Lianus. A Tauri male. Sits. Prepare the Ronin for transport to Sirius B. So the Ronin is this guy's sort of command ship. And then Sirius B is a planet. But it's like the most defended planet in the universe. Right, so the Lord Archon's back on the Draco Mothership Ibu now. He walks alone in this hallway, Gaia appears like a ghost behind him. 2 billion souls now trapped in limbo. Lord Archon stops and closes his eyes. He faces Gaia. At least they have respite from the flesh. Is that how you justify it? Lord Archon stands tall but subtly avoids eye contact. Yeah, because he does feel guilty. I know there is a piece of you in there, Enki. His eyes are haunted. Nothing of my soul remains. And yet you protect the humans still. Just like you did Asper. He's gone. In a way he's answering, obviously Asper's dead, but Viden's also gone away. The Demiurge cannot be killed, true, perhaps, but the Aeons united stand a chance. If Barbello had you, you'll all perish. True. Is that a worse fate than the one I'm living? The one we both live? We could at least die fighting. She clutches his arm. I can't. He marches away. It's worth an attempt. Originally I had that, so there's a quote called "One life, it's worth an attempt." It was on this forum, I think it was 4chan. I can't remember what let me just have a look. But I removed the first bit on the last edit. But yeah, I really like this quote. One life, it's worth an attempt. Right, what I might do, because it is 2 AM and I don't know if I'm being too loud. So, because I know people have got work tomorrow. And I am struggling, if I'm being honest. What I'll do then, I'm going to call it there. I'll watch some of it back. If it comes across, so I feel like I've done really bad tonight with the speaking. If it's okay, then I'll just do a 2 parts to this. If it is a bit shit, I'll probably just redo it at a better time. Because I am just struggling, and yeah, I just am struggling. Yeah, so, and we're about to see Viden again here. He's trying to find Chesney. Right, yeah, I'll call it there then. And see what's what. So, I'll see in a bit.